welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is July 23rd, 2017. My name is Eric Peters, and joining me today, Mr. Yam Reagan.
What up, guys?
What up, Tom?
Oh, how's it going?
Good. We got Mr. Mike Tyson.
Oh, shit!
We're getting higher pitch. Oh! Guess who's not here?
Dan!
Oh, shit, we said it too early.
I can't believe it!
Oh, my God. I was going to wait till we ended the show. Damn it.
Oh, no.
I mean, I can make up for it if you want. I saved the show.
Yeah, I kept it together.
What?
Huh?
I saved the show.
What the fuck was that?
Is that your Dan impression?
It was just a random accent that wasn't mine. So that it wasn't just me saying that.
I mean, chances are good that it was an accent that Dan drifts in and out of from time to time.
Maybe.
But his is old man American. I saved this show.
Oh, that's true.
I saved this show.
There you go. That was Dan right there.
See, Tom is everyone.
Tom. He's this global AI that's just invading everything.
That's some Metal Gear Solid shit right there.
Yeah.
Nanomachines, son!
Tom, are you inside me?
Ugh. I'm just a comedian.
How was being Monty last week?
What? Oh, how was being Monty?
How was being Monty last week? Tom, how was it?
Oh, yeah, I had to keep out, the accent and everything. It was quite tough. But, got there in the end, didn't I? Hey, guys. Made a show out of it. Keeping it going for 2 hours. I don't know how long I can keep this one up. Just even talking about it. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies right here.
American Tom is the worst.
I'm just going to talk like that the whole time you're here.
Oh, please do.
I thought you already did last week.
Yeah. I'm going to extend it out to 11 days.
I will, I'll talk in my obnoxiously stereotypical British posh.
Yeah.
We'll just flip roles.
I'll wear my American t-shirt with Lincoln on the front.
Oh, God. Yes.
And you can wear a St. George's t-shirt. I'll buy you one.
Please do.
Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to get you kitted up in really obnoxious British wear.
Oh, man. I might just kit myself up in it.
Get you an XL shirt. XL pants.
Mike, have you seen the shirt that I bought for Tom when he came over?
Yes, yeah.
We went and toured the Grand Canyon wearing those.
Oh man, I missed an opportunity to wear it on the 4th. Why didn't I do that?
There's always next year.
There's always next year. I've still got it.
There is.
I might wear it while you're here, just so you don't feel so far away from home.
I hope you know my entire wardrobe only consists of things constructed out of the American flag.
And bald eagles.
Yeah. My suitcase is just made from pure bald eagle feathers and skin. That's all it is. I'm going to be obnoxious over there, aren't I?
Of course you are. We wouldn't have you any other way. We're geared up, ready.
It's like, wait a
It's
minute.
the only reason I've invited you to the wedding. I need an obnoxious American there.
Oh, man. I am really looking forward to that.
Good.
Me too.
It's going to be actually, I think the first weekend there is going to be even more of a shit show.
Oh, God.
There'll probably
I just
be...
can't even imagine.
There's going to be a minimum of 2 podcasts recorded.
Oh yeah, we
Maybe.
could just record one one video one, and then just change t-shirts and record another one.
Immediately after. I'll switch places on the couch.
Yeah.
We should do it, since Tom's flat is approximately 6 square feet. We should do it slumber party style, where we're all laying on our bellies on the floor, hands on their chin, and like in a circle with the microphone in the middle, and just talking game.
Oh god, with a torch shining up from the
Yeah, with like blankets over the top of us.
Yeah, leafing through like a manual for the game that we're playing.
Slumber party. Does
I
Cat
have a big table. I have a big table that we can pull out.
What, to sleep on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
Well, Hazel's going to be with us that first night too. You're going to have like 4 extra people in your flat.
Shit, does she want the table?
Maybe.
Can I have the kitchen counter?
I have a balcony. So if you get a bit hot in the night.
Oh God, you guys don't have AC.
Eric, it's not going to be hot. It's going to be October in England.
So does that mean I
October
need
will be
to
okay.
pack a jacket?
Yeah, definitely.
I need to go buy a jacket.
You could buy a jacket when you're here.
I don't think I own a jacket.
Get one from Target.
Well, wait, what's the temperature actually going to be? Like, give it to me in real numbers, not this fake stuff.
Hang on.
Average temperature October.
It's 12C. What's that mean? That doesn't mean anything.
Okay, that is
53? That's like 60% colder than it is now.
Jews bring the ski wear. bring the goggles.
Pack my boots. Make sure to bring both gloves this time. Actually, no, it'll be a nice reprieve from the heat because we're just starting to die down at that time of the year.
It's gonna be fine. It's totally fine. You grew up in Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, but I moved for a reason.
Well, this is like going back home for a week.
I don't go
Across
home
the
when
ocean.
it's cold.
Oh.
I can't tell you the last time I saw snow.
Well, it doesn't snow that much here.
Is it going to be
Definitely
rainy
doesn't
like
snow.
80% of the time?
No, it will just be like kind of grey, overcast.
Yeah.
It's a little bit miserable, but it's fine. It's totally fine. It won't snow. It won't snow. Because if it ever snows in London, it just melts instantly.
Okay.
Also, you have that London climate because all the buildings make it warmer.
Yeah,
You
the
get
heat
this little
island.
microclimate. Yeah, it's a bit like
yeah.
New York.
Dan will end up complaining that it's too hot
Yes.
compared to where he lives.
Yeah, that's how.
Is he like a cold-blooded reptile from the north? Oh, it's too hot.
Drake from Shadowrun.
I can't wait for Dan to be in London again.
Oh, I can't wait either. For as much as he's pissed and moaned about it, he hasn't been there since the last time he came down, has he?
I think he went down once for a show with Crystal, and I think they asked for help on the London Underground, and they were met with a bit of a blunt response, because they were kind of like just doing that touristy thing.
Yeah, I remember him saying that actually.
I'll admit, like, it is definitely not as friendly. Like, service isn't as friendly as other parts of the country. Everything moves a bit quicker, but you still get good people here.
Well, he's in land of the friendly accent, isn't he? They did research into it, and apparently the Geordie accent is like the most calmest to people in the UK. Like, they always put Geordie accents in like complaint handling lines and things like that because they've done research.
Can people like universally understand them?
Ish, as long as it's not too like thick of an accent.
Because they did kind of the same study here in the States, and there's a reason that all newscasters speak in a Midwestern accent. It's because it's the accent that has the least stigma associated with it. and it's the most easily understood. Could you imagine news stations across the country filled with people from Boston or New Jersey?
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a very harsh accent, right?
Yeah, very just pissed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Geordie thing, as long as it's not too thick, it's fine. I mean, you get accents much, much thicker than Dan's.
Yeah. But, and also, I think, because we've got national news, but a lot of our news is quite local, so you get news served to you in your local area. So we get, obviously, BBC London, so it's just some random southerner. But I don't know, maybe... Yeah.
It's like north of England, you get like, here, right, trouble, down, melt it there.
It's fucking raining. That was my best impression, sorry.
Was that Geordie?
No, that's kind of
in Yorkshire.
Like Yorkshire area.
Yeah, because my girlfriend went to uni in Sheffield. So...
Oh yeah, so did Hazel. Like, whenever Hazel gets really drunk, she suddenly gets a really Yorkshire accent.
Oh man, we got to get her just obliterated then.
It's gonna be brilliant. Yeah, it's also my 30th while you're down, so who knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
Oh shit!
What day is your actual 30th?
The 9th.
Oh man,
I can't remember if Monday
we're gonna hit the town.
Oh yeah, I'd be disappointed if we didn't.
I think that needs to be the Straddle London day.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So also, Dan doesn't drink. Is Dan going to be responsible for us all?
Designated driver.
He's going to just be like the cat wrangler. Just lock the apartment door and just hope we all don't fall off the balcony.
Mike's wandering off again. Hold on.
He's got like a big shepherd's stick, and he's just herding us back around the table.
Oh man, speaking of straddling,
yes, you have my attention.
Oh no, well, I was randomly listening to your episode the other day where you guys were talking about the straddling contest, and you started doing it like an old school like advertisement, and Jess was like, "What do I do with my hands?" Oh, let me tell you, Jess. Oh man, I was in stitches.
One of the few times I've made Dan cry actual tears.
That and when we were giving away the mini NES.
Well, that's what that was for.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was the straddling contest.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
I don't even know if I could replicate that accent. It was just so off the top.
You did it in the Yoshi's Island video.
Oh, I did. Did it come across
all the hints
okay?
And tips. Yeah. Yeah, I think it featured a couple of times in the video.
Oh man, speaking of the NES Classic.
Oh, lovely segue.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
What?
Mike
Dan
saved
GTs.
that segue.
Saving the show.
I got a message, was it 2 nights ago? I was laying in bed playing some Castlevania, and get a message from one Matthew Ernie, and all it said was... Yes, quite. All it said was, Walmart has the SNES Classic Mini. Go now. Dropped. I think I was watching some stand up with Christy and playing Castlevania. I'm like, screw it, done. Pop open the phone and go at it, and sure as shit, they had them for pre-order.
Oh shit!
And I recalled what happened to me when the new 3DS XL Majora's Mask Edition came out from Best Buy. I pre-ordered 2 of them on the same order, and they canceled one of them. So got a little smarter this time. And before you say anything, no, I'm not going to hawk it. I need to keep one closed, but I also want to open one to play it. So because it has Star Fox 2 on it.
Okay.
Ordered two of them, 2 different orders, 2 different credit cards. Hopefully they both show up.
Did you order one under Christie's name?
No, because stupidly, I was still logged into my Walmart account. So that might be...
That's what I would have done if I wanted to. I would have got Hazel's deal.
Yeah.
But I struggled to get the pre-order that I did.
Yeah, these sold out in like 11 minutes. And by the time Matt got it to me, I was down to the wire on it.
Jesus.
By
Well,
the
me
time
and you were quite lucky, weren't we, Tom? Because, I mean, they sold out literally minutes after we got ours.
Yes,
From the game
stupidly
website.
lucky because you were trying to get through to pay on the game website, and then I was trying pretty much all night and it wasn't working. I kind of gave up, and then I tried randomly on my phone instead of my laptop, and it went straight through, which was kind of bizarre. And then suddenly, totally sold out. And yeah, hopefully I should have it in October as long as they fulfill the order. I have no idea.
they come out in the end of September, right?
September, yeah.
Oh yeah, 22nd.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I think the release date was September 29th, and it said free 2-day shipping, but it won't arrive until October 6th. Like, I mean, I'm no genius at math, but that's 7 days.
Or maybe it's working days.
Well, even
still.
Oh yeah,
it should be there by Wednesday at the latest. So that sucks. It shows up after I leave for London.
Okay.
Street Fighter 2 tournament at Tom's?
Right.
As long as it's not Tekken.
Well,
that's not on the SNES Classic. So.
No, I know, but I'll take him on in that. But I don't want to take Tom on in any Tekken. Because all he'll do is like, how do you play this game? And then just whoop ass.
What's punch again?
Might drop his controller and walk out the room.
Is that the D-pad? Press the D-pad.
One of the greatest moments of my life.
Which one's triangle?
You guys have an arcade over there, right?
Yeah.
We need to go. We need to go hit it.
Yeah, we got the Namco arcade
Ooh.
in central London, which is
Yeah, I would like
massive.
to visit that too.
It's so big. There's bumper cars in it. A full-on bumper car circuit in the ground.
But
floor.
is it like an old school arcade, or is it one of these new ones like a Dave and Buster's where you have to pay like $3.50 to play a game for 12 seconds?
Oh, good lord. No, it's like everything's old school. Daytona
Okay.
USA, Sega Rally, Crazy Taxi, Jurassic Park, House of the Dead, Time Crisis, all that good stuff. And then there's a few newer machines as well. There's a Guitar Hero there randomly, and a few others.
Okay, we're gonna go there.
Yeah, it's a good time, and then you win. The way it works is kind of odd. Like it prints off these tickets, which you then trade like 500 tickets for 10 one-piece suites.
Yeah, that's how most of the arcades are here.
Oh,
Seems
okay.
reasonable.
I had probably 700 or 800 tickets, and I just got 75 Laffy Taffies when I went last time. Just
Nice. The only arcade I went to in America was the one at the Excalibur Casino in Vegas.
Excalibur!
oh yeah.
It has one under the under one basement level. It has this huge one. Huge.
Yeah,
arcade.
it's okay. It's like
Yeah.
traditional old school arcades are kind of a thing of the past here, which is sad. We had one growing up called the Circus in the mall, and every time we'd go shopping at the mall, my mom would give me $2. She's like, "Go to the arcade," then she'd go do her shopping. Something that
Right.
and I was probably like 8. Parents
Yeah.
wouldn't do that today. I know I
No.
sure as hell wouldn't do that.
The only places you really get them in the UK is like seaside towns.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of them are just beaten down as well. Like they're not looked after and
Coins get stuck.
yeah.
And you got to kick
It
it.
gets stuck.
Did you ever go to the Did you ever go to the Mechanical Arcade in California in San Francisco?
That one I think I missed. I was out there for work and didn't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, I went there. It was really bizarre. Just super old machines, but it's really impressive how they're all made, like pure handmade.
Huh.
It's just like you put like a quarter in, and then just sometimes it's not even a game, just some models move around. And you
Shit.
just kind of watch a weird animation, if you like, but
It's like
it's all very authentic. Yeah, it's cool.
It's like the machines that you put a quarter, 2 quarters in and a penny, and it crushes the penny.
Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
There's not so much like really enthralling games, but it's a nice bit of history. I thought it was good.
Sounds like fun.
But we don't have Dave and Buster's over here.
Yeah, you're not missing
Sorry
a
to
whole
say.
lot.
Speaking of like the SNES Classic, you guys see that Nintendo trademarked an N64 controller this week.
I saw
Which
that.
is obviously bubbling rumours for an
did.
N64 Classic.
Wave Race.
64.
Oh man, but I think
What?
was it Dan that said that they wouldn't have any of the Rare catalog on there.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what N64 games would you guys want to see on there?
The original Smash Bros.
I mean, obviously, it'd have to have Mario 64. It'd have to have
Ocarina.
Ocarina of Time. It'd have to have
Shadow of the
Star
Empire.
Fox.
Majora's Mask.
I don't know if they would put Majora's Mask on there.
Yeah,
I hope
don't know
so.
if they
I've
would.
still not played Majora's Mask.
I only recently played through it when I got my 3DS, and I had to play through with a guide.
I would put Shadow of the Empire on there.
Shadow of the Empire, Mario Kart 64, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye's
Maybe-
by Rare though.
Maybe Diddy Kong Racing.
Rare.
Pilot
shit,
Wings.
yeah.
Pilot Wings for sure.
I've got a list. I've got a list of all the Rare games on the N64 in front of me now, and yeah, you're missing out on things like GoldenEye, Diddy Kong Racing, Banjo Kazooie, Jet Force,
is,
Jet Force Gemini, Donkey Kong 64, Perfect Dark, Banjo Tooie.
Wait, hold on.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Donkey Kong 64, that's a Nintendo IP that Rare owns?
Well, Rare developed it. Whether they hold on, is there any Donkey Kong games on the SNES Classic?
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country,
Was that by Rare as well?
but just not Donkey Kong Country.
You know
2,
what game they
because-
would absolutely have to put on there? Would be Blast Core.
I was going to say Blast Core.
Blast Core is the 1080 snowboarding.
You probably would have to put Wave Race on there.
But this is interesting, actually, because the original Donkey Kong Country was by Rare, and that's on the SNES Classic. So maybe,
Oh,
maybe
I think it's
possible.
because Nintendo owns that IP.
I would hope that Perfect Dark would be on there. That was a great game.
Conker's Bad Fur. Oh shit, that's Rare.
Yeah. So is Perfect Dark. That's Rare as well.
Paper Mario would be on there
yeah.
for sure. I think we've hit about 20 of them.
Yeah.
That's probably that would be the limit, wouldn't it? On those.
I mean, it's only 20. Is it 21, 22 on the SNES Classic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool, though. I would like that. I was reading about the SNES Classic, and I couldn't find any validation of this quote because the article that the person had linked to didn't explicitly state that, but apparently there were rumors floating around that this unit was only going to be produced until the end of 2017. So again, it's going to be one of those very limited things, despite Nintendo themselves directly saying we're not going to have production shortages with it. Bullshit.
Well,
You guys-
the thing I found interesting is Big Reggie recently. I can't remember the exact quote, but he said that they struggled with the NES Classic at first, and then they made some more. Well, of the original production where they struggled, he said something along the lines of all the factories and everything that we have available to us concentrating that much on getting the Switch out, that's why we struggled. And then he went on to say that, well, with the SNES Classic, now that the Switch is out, we've got plenty of production line available to us to make plenty of SNES Classics. But on another quote recently, he said that they're upping production on the Switch, so it all kind of contradicts each other.
Yeah.
I found that quote here. But Nintendo told Polygon that it's currently planning to manufacture the SNES Classic from September 29th until the end of calendar year 2017. It's going to be severely short. I never saw a NES Classic in the store, ever.
Me neither.
The Target down the street still has a bunch of accessories for it.
I had to sell my one accessory for it because I couldn't get the console.
Ugh.
It sucked.
I mean, they sold 200,000 NES Classics in a month. That's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's mad. I'm really glad I got, because deep down I actually would prefer, in terms of which one I want to play frequently, the SNES Classic. So I'm glad I did get one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I mean, playing devil's advocate here for a second, you don't need it. You have multiple consoles that can emulate these exact games. You're basically buying this for nostalgia factor of I'm playing it on a Super Nintendo controller on something that looks like a Super Nintendo with a cool UI.
But they also, because don't they have various different modes that you can play it in for the NES? Like you've got the pixel perfect, like it's all completely really sharply produced. So when you run it through the HDMI cable, it's in proper form, proper ratio, aspect ratio and stuff.
Huh.
Like they've really treated them nicely. It's not just a cheap knockoff thing with 30 games stuck on it. It feels like some care's been taken over it. And yeah, like you say, the original controllers and stuff.
And it'll look nice on the TV unit.
Yeah, I think it's nice to capture that history in this one little unit that's very affordable. It's a kind of nice digital preservation inside that hardware.
Oh, I'm still really excited for it, but I mean, for the people that don't get one, I mean, at the end of the day, if we're being realistic about it, it really isn't anything that you can't make yourself with a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah, of course.
Well, just to be materialistic for a moment, it's just nice to have one, isn't it? Like, especially because you know they're going to be hard to get hold of. You know, it's almost bragging rights, isn't it? Like, I managed to get one.
I mean, I can see my NES Classic in its box on my shelf from my desk.
Yeah,
looking good. I might just put it in a plastic bag and seal it up.
And yeah, it does look nice. It's almost like kind of like an ornament, really.
Yeah.
So
I miss the old packaging for old consoles.
Yeah. Have you ever seen what the console box looks like for the Super Nintendo, but in Japan?
No.
It's really nice. It's very modern looking. Like it looks like a console box that would be released in the last 5 years instead of all those years ago. It's kind of like it just uses because over here the SNES controller was 4 colors, where I think in the States it was.
Oh yeah, with all the different colors and the lines, it looks really
neat. It's so cool. I saw one in Japan, and part of me wanted to buy it, and then the sensible part of my brain said no.
That is really
talking
clean.
about this.
Yeah,
I'm just sending.
Yeah, that's the one. So cool.
The Super Famicom did look. I don't know. I still prefer the North American Super Nintendo.
I have to disagree.
No way. Those curves.
Oh, those curves. Give me them lines. That gray on purple, and then that gray turns to yellow. Love it.
Oh, yeah, the gray turned to yellow here as well.
I think the original Japanese Nintendo, the Famicom, looked awesome. I loved those colors.
Is that the red and
goldish? Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, I saw one of those over there. It was really cool.
Yeah, red and white.
Very, very retro looking.
It looks
definitely a console of its time.
Yeah.
Looks nothing like the American Nintendo. Like the Famicom and the Super Famicom, you can tell they're related. Not the Nintendo and the Famicom. Not even close.
But the American and Europe NES that looked the same, that kind of box was just perfectly marketed though for here. It just kind of because it just kind of sat well on your TV stand, because when it came out, there was that time when people weren't sure if they'd want consoles or not. So that's why it was called the entertainment system instead of just an actual console, because people were losing faith in games.
So
after the crash of Atari.
I just did a little bit of reading here. Have you guys ever heard of anything called the FamicomBox?
No.
Here, look at this. Apparently, it was an arcade-style Famicom that had what looked to be 10 to 12-ish games that were plugged into it. And it was like a pay-to-play style where you'd put a coin in and you'd choose which game you want to play.
Wow. So it has Baseball, Bomberman, Devil World, Donkey Kong Jr., Duck Hunt, Excite Bike, F1 Race, Fighting Golf. Fighting Golf? Fair enough. Gradius.
Jeeves, hit him with my 6-iron.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
There's another one that...
Woo! What up?
Sharp made called the Famicom Station, which was the same, except it had metal legs that it stood on. And that came with 1943 Baseball, Donkey Kong, Duck Hunt, F1, bunch of other stuff. And they
Those
break
legs
down
are
like the
very
coin
sturdy.
mechanism, and
Oh wow.
Huh.
that's
That's
really
crazy.
neat.
Yeah.
And then they have pictures of the startup box too, like the Nintendo Entertainment System FamicomBox.
Ooh.
And the Sharp Famicom
Oh,
Station.
and they had such nice the Japanese NES cartridges are really cool. They're all like different solid colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the Rockman ones over there.
Oh, I saw a Japanese
Yeah.
Rockman cart the other day, and I just couldn't bring myself to pay $50 for it.
Which one?
Just the original.
Oh, cool.
There's some crazy retro stuff out there. I didn't even know the Famicom box existed. And there's another
it's
one,
like-
the Super Famicom box. Oh, look at this thing. The controllers tuck into a little pocket in the front of it.
God,
That is
what
weird
the hell?
looking.
That is. It looks like someone's broken that panel off.
Oh, I guess we'll just put controllers in there.
Well, it's like. Did you ever hear of the You ever see the Panasonic GameCube?
No.
There's like this silver GameCube. It's called the Panasonic Q.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, that thing looks like a printer mixed with a shredder and a dishwasher. Yeah, the Panasonic Q.
Yeah,
Why does it
It's
use
really
GameCube
cool.
controllers?
it was a GameCube.
It's a hybrid
hy-
version of GameCube with a DVD player manufactured by Panasonic
Yeah,
in co-op with Nintendo.
because obviously, but in that generation, one of the best things about the PS2 was that it doubled up as a DVD player, so it was super affordable.
It was essentially
And-
the cheapest DVD player on the market. At the
It's
time,
the
wasn't
first one we ever
Yeah.
had.
it?
Yeah, same. And obviously, I think if I remember right, you could play DVDs on the Xbox, but not on the.
Well, with the
not
Xbox,
GameCube.
you had to have that stupid $35 controller that you'd plug a sensor into
Oh,
the
Yeah,
front
I
of the
remember
console, and somehow that would activate the console to play a DVD, even though all of the games were on DVD. It was dumb.
yeah, I do remember that now.
You know what my favorite
So-
part about this Panasonic Q is? Is that they kept
handles?
The handles. It looks like a karaoke machine,
It does, because of all the buttons on the little round buttons on the sides near the
and then it
DVD
has
tray.
it has a screen.
It looks like a sort of a hi-fi separate in its own right. I would love to have one of those. I remember I could have bought one a long time ago, but it was before actually having disposable income.
Oh man, disposable income is a curse.
When I had time and no money, and then somewhere down the line that flipped.
Yeah, I've got money and not a damn free minute of the day.
Damn you!
I can't wait to not be saving for a wedding anymore.
Oh yeah,
Oh man, yeah right.
planning for a wedding is fun, but the best part of it is being done. That next morning, you're like, "Hey, I have no stress."
Whew.
Whew. Whew.
Yeah, and we're married.
So, next stop, death.
40 years of resentment.
Best get started now.
Bitter misunderstandings.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, Hazel listens to this show, doesn't she?
Shit. Is she still locked in the cupboard in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, she's in there. Cuddling the bleach.
Threw a couple cookies her way.
I made sure the cat was outside as well.
Damn cat.
Oh, good.
Guys, should we get to our game of the week?
Yes.
The
Yeah,
man
okay.
who suggested this game is not here. So
Oh.
yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Fuck's sake.
Give
He's
us a
never
game
around.
and
His
yeah.
absence should be on the bingo card.
I don't think that's right, Tom.
It was worth a try.
It was. I mean, you've become the new Jess.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The Fall Guy.
Is Tom here? No. Guys, I'm right here. Oh, sorry, Tom.
I'd just like to make it known that since I joined the show, I've not missed one, and Tom and Dan have both missed some now.
Ooh. Oof.
Oh, well, it's early days yet, Mike. Just you wait.
Well, I got myself out of one a little bit because I said that I obviously couldn't do the 15th of October because I'm getting married the day before.
Yeah.
But now I've invited you guys over. You probably won't be doing a show as well.
Well, does that show actually fall on that weekend of your wedding?
Yeah, it would have been the 15th. But then we're obviously doing one the week before early, aren't we, when we're all together?
Good, Mike. Is that the only reason you invited all of us?
Yep.
I'm going to make them all spend thousands so I don't have to miss the show.
I'm not going to talk to you the entire time you're there. Just put you in the corner and just scowl at you the entire time.
Do we even get a table inside the reception hall, or is it in the yard out back? With a small AM
out there
radio?
with the peasants.
Put them in the cellar with the others.
Give them the pop-up tent from Glastonbury.
Oh, it's right next
like
to Lincoln Castle. I could get you put in the in there. In
Is
the
it?
prison cells.
I want to go see
brilliant.
a castle.
Yeah, like a home from home. You should go and see it. There's many castles for you to see, Eric. You should
Can we go do a
definitely
castle tour, Tom?
We all just
Yeah.
live in castles. Did you not know?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, I figured, but then there's Dan.
He just lives in a small boat on someone else's castle's moat. That was
Tom.
really difficult to say.
Don't-
Moat, boat, goat. What?
Are there more castles on the east or west coast, or are they just kind
probably-
of spread about?
You'd probably divide it more up with south and north.
Oh,
I'm not sure. I mean, I know there's a good few castles in the north, but there's plenty down here as well. You're never that far from a castle.
just round the corner.
That's the slogan for England. England, never far from a castle.
Ooh, yeah. We need to go find a castle,
Yeah. we can do
and
it.
one with a cannon in front of it that I can, you know what?
Ah, okay.
Oh,
now
there's
you're
a
talking.
there's a cannon outside Lincoln Castle. Like,
Is that
right
the one
next
that
to
you straddled?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a picture right now. I'm like, that looks familiar.
Yes. That's literally like 30 seconds from the hotel that I'm getting married at.
Oh, like walking distance? Like drunk
It's-
walking distance?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Of course, we have the Tower of London as well, Eric.
What's that?
Centuries of bloody history around a medieval castle, which is home to the crown jewels.
Ooh. Will they let
It's
me
like
hold
where
them?
and where people used to get beheaded.
Like in a public square?
Yeah, you know, when England was a bit, you know,
More feudal?
Choppy.
when it was head choppy, trigger crazy, guillotine crazy.
Bang, bang, chop, chop. Come on, lads.
Off with his head.
Oh, dear. We'll make a day of it.
It's an infamous prison.
I've never done the touristy thing in London either, so.
Oh, brilliant.
And I want to watch Dan hate it also.
Oh, man. Can we just go to like the most crowded, obnoxious places possible?
To Piccadilly Circus.
Yes. Can we go ride the
love
London
that.
Eye or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah, we can do all that. And the thing that would just... Dan's going to hate that so much.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
God.
We're going to video everything, too. The amount of content we're going to push out in those 2 weeks is just going to be gross. Yeah. Ugh. Not much planning or effort's going to go into it, but there will be content.
Can't say it's going to be quality content, but
Well,
content nonetheless.
I mean, based on what we normally are, it'll be right on par.
Passable.
We're only 20 minutes away from another castle as well, Eric, which was built before America was founded.
Well, I mean,
So it's pretty old.
Okay.
So
So
you
like
can check that out as well.
1775.
Sometime in the 1700s, yeah.
I thought you were about to say sometime in the 70s then.
Yeah.
No, the world actually existed before America. Really?
What?
My God. I thought on the 8th day God created America.
Everything was a lie.
It was. Okay, what are we playing this week, guys? What were we supposed to have played?
Super Castlevania 4!
That's all
Nice.
I know.
Super Castlevania 4, I've got here.
I thought it was Super Castlevania IV.
1V.
Super Castlevania IV is just walking around with the drip.
Recovery. It's his chemotherapy.
Walks really slowly because he's got it on like those little wheels. He's wearing like a hospital gown with his bum sticking out.
Every time he hits a crack, it tips over and he's got to pick the damn thing back up and jimmy his IV around so his drip starts up again.
I know it's been 100 years, but I don't feel no better.
Nurse, can you up that morphine drip?
What do you mean I'm not covered? I saved the world.
I stopped Dracula. Ain't that enough?
What do you mean I'm being sectioned? It's true. I'm Simon, gosh damn it.
Do you know who my family is? We're from House Belmont.
I had a quest 200 years ago, don't you remember? Don't any of y'all remember? Did any of y'all do history?
I went out when it was a great night for a curse. I should have just stayed in bed.
Turn that symphony off.
Good God, that got dumb.
Apologies.
In fact, it's actually Super Castlevania 4. For the Super Nintendo.
Super.
Super with the sneakers.
Yes, and it was Dan's pick, I think, but he's not here, so
That means he didn't finish it.
it.
He probably didn't even start it.
Yeah, I guess. He might not have. He said he.
Oh,
was
he got
playing.
to the Jeeves section.
Nope. Anybody can
No.
pull those pictures from Google.
I think he was playing Final Fantasy 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. And
He gave it a
Persona.
miss. Yeah, and that Persona
He
thing.
woke up this morning, he's like, shit, forgot it. Go on without me.
Classic Dan move.
Yep.
As a Danner.
I think he realised it was by Konami and he didn't want to come on and pronounce it wrong.
This game's by Konami. Wait, Mike, does that mean you listened to that show?
Yeah, it did.
He must have. Yeah, he must have.
Whoa.
That was before my time.
No, it wasn't.
I think it might have been.
Pretty
I
sure you
think
were on for that show.
Maybe I was. I do remember listening to it.
I can't remember
very
which show it
least.
was. It was ages ago I listened to that one. So.
I mean, somebody from the wonderful community will know.
I thought it was the one where the electricity went out in his house twice. I thought it was the same episode.
Well, clearly we were playing
wait.
a Konami game. Wasn't it?
How did he say it again?
Konami.
Konami, wasn't it?
Konami. Do you even know how to read?
Love you, Dan. Love you, Dan.
Mike, this is what happens when you miss a show, so don't miss.
Yes.
So my plan to invite you all over to the wedding is working.
Which is why I've never missed a show.
Oh God, could you imagine?
Oh, no, I genuinely don't want to imagine what it would be. I might spiral into a black depression. But yes, this game was developed by Konami for the Super NES.
Super NES.
It just comes with steak and potatoes for every game. Dinner is served.
Turn off the lunch station. It's time for the Super NES.
The Sega lunch station. And the Nintendo Super NES.
Castlevania.
Yes, Castlevania. Sounds like a sexual disease.
Ooh.
Good. Castlevania.
Ugh.
I'm going to need some antibiotics for that.
Hence the IV drip. It's all coming full circle right now.
It is. Yeah, this all makes sense now.
It's almost like we
Pulled it
planned it.
back. There's no planning.
Anyway, this came out in 1991. October 31st in Japan, December 4th in the Americas. And then Europe got it a year later.
Ugh,
We
standard.
had to wait.
Europe.
Europe.
Stepchild of video games.
Isn't that back when you guys used to get games on Fridays instead of Tuesdays? Because I remember when...
Wait, I'm sure Crash Bandicoot
we
came
still-
out on a Friday.
We
didn't
still get them on Fridays.
it? Yeah.
There are some
Yeah.
here that come out on... Like, every brand new game only comes out on Friday?
I don't understand the whole Tuesday thing. Yeah, every brand new game comes out on Friday. Then you're ready
Really?
for the weekend.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
What if a game drops and you have to just suddenly leave your office and get in your car and drive it and quickly get it before it sells out?
They don't sell out.
Oh, yeah, but what about when, like, back in the day when they did sell out? Those glory days.
I don't...
Like,
Did
you
they-
couldn't pick up a copy of Vice City anywhere when it first came out. It was just hot off the shelves.
I don't recall when I was a kid what day of the week games typically came out, mainly because I could never buy them at release.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now I'm more
that makes
conscious of
sense.
it, but it's always Tuesdays. Tuesdays new release dates when new movies and new games all
okay.
come out.
That's really funny. Fair enough. Yeah.
So
but we
even
used to get
worldwide
games really
release
late.
dates, when it's listed as a Tuesday, it comes out that following Friday for you?
Not if it's I guess not if it's a worldwide release date. Like, for example, my only example I can think of is when The Force Awakens came out in the cinema. I think we all got that on the same day.
Well, yeah, movies all come out on Fridays, like in the theater, but on DVD
Yeah.
and the like, they come out on Tuesdays.
Okay. Now I'm not. Now I'm doubting myself.
Tom, do you even video game?
Ugh. No. Why am I even here?
Fuck if I know.
I actually even today, it's actually quite rare that I buy a game brand new. Like the day it came out. I mean.
Oh man, if I don't buy a game the day it comes out, the likelihood of me actually buying it goes down to almost zero.
Wow, that's so alien to me.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the same. I barely ever buy brand like release date. I think the last two games I bought on release date was I pre-ordered
Crash?
the Insane Trilogy, yeah, and I think before that was Arkham Knight.
Oh wow.
I got that
yeah.
on release date, and yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I really, really fucking enjoyed Arkham Knight, but it came down in price so quickly that I was really disappointed the amount I spent on it when I could have just waited a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because
that's
it was a game. It was a game I was going to play anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have just waited.
I feel like I would love to be able to buy on release, but then because I always feel that when you play a few weeks out, that you suddenly aren't part of the current conversation.
Yeah.
Everyone's been talking about it on internet forums and social media channels and just with friends and family, and then suddenly you're playing this game that's okay. Everyone's moved on now to the next thing. Everything moves so quickly.
I kind of got into the habit when we were doing the Manitank podcast, because that was right around the time that I started acquiring disposable cash. And we would just talk about recent games, and I didn't want to be behind on what we were playing, so I would just buy games as they came out, because I felt like if I waited, by the time I decided to buy that game I waited for, another new game would be out, and then I'd be caught in this quandary of, do I buy a game that came out a month ago, or do I buy a new game? Because generally they don't drop that quickly in price unless the game is complete shit. Like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, true.
I think they don't stores like pay you to take No Man's Sky away now.
I think so. I think it's actually a punishment given out by most of the circuit courts here in the States. You've been sentenced to 150 hours of gameplay in No Man's Sky. And most people choose the death penalty instead.
Well, another thing with release dates as well now is, some games come out broken and they don't get patched for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, good point.
So
Which brings up a whole new conversation of that's just a terrible thing that's developed within the gaming community. Is like, it's okay to release busted-ass games. But on the same side of that argument, there is... I'm glad we live in an era where a game can be broken and then fixed after the fact. Before, PS3 era, when a game came out, that's what you got.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a...
Well, it's like Skyward Sword. There was a glitch in that where you literally couldn't progress any further, and Nintendo actually had to release a patch for that. And, people would have actually just got completely stuck if that hadn't happened.
Oh, that was one of the... If you did a certain set of objectives in a certain order, it locked out your game?
Yeah. There was an NPC you had to speak to who he wouldn't say what he needed to say for you to progress.
Well, the other part of it, though, too, is games are way, way more complex than they ever used to be. Like, if you read about the debug process for any of the Bethesda games, like Skyrim or Fallout, you can't physically generate every possible scenario within that game in order to effectively debug it. And if you do, by fixing one bug, you create 10 others.
Well, I had a friend who he did a little bit of games testing for a little while, and he said it was just the most awful thing. People always go, "Oh, I'd love to be a games tester, for a living," and he said it was terrible because if you encountered a glitch or a bug or something like that, you had to somehow replicate every single thing you did to get to that bug and that glitch. And obviously you had to note all that down, so you'd literally be given a section of gameplay and you'd play that same bit over and over and over, trying to replicate exactly what you did for that to happen, so that they can then determine what it is that caused it to then fix it. And he said it was horrible. He said,
wouldn't they also give you that same section and then you just play that section in multiple, countless different ways to try to generate bugs?
Yep.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Just one vertical slice given to hundreds of QA people. It sounds awful.
Matt Eads and Oliver from our old show used to do playtesting for BioWare. Their names are actually in the credits of Dragon Age 2. And they said it was awful. just a terrible job. I mean, yeah, you're sitting there playing video games for a living. How terrible can it really be? But as with anything, if you turn a hobby into work, it's no longer fun.
My friend who did it, he said he just didn't want to... He'd get home, he just didn't want to play games anymore.
Yeah. No thanks.
Oof. No, that sucks.
I mean, for me, gaming is... Most of the time, gaming is for me to sit down and relax. I wouldn't want to turn into work at all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways... I don't know how we got here.
Who are you?
Huh?
What?
Nice to meet you guys.
Anyway, Castlevania.
Yes. This one follows Simon Belmont. I'm just going to lay this out here at the beginning. I'm not even going to pretend to understand the Castlevania universe and where all of the different main characters come in. Just not even going to pretend. Does anybody here have any sort of knowledge behind this series?
No, this is actually the first Castlevania game I've ever played.
Me too.
Whoa.
I know. I believe we did play a Castlevania game for the Mega Drive, but I wasn't on that show. I'm not sure. I think it was Bloodlines. Castlevania Bloodlines.
We did.
Yeah, was that good? Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Still, my favorite one ever, though, was Symphony of the Night. That game was stellar.
I've heard Symphony of the Night is one of the best PS1 games out there.
The only thing that I do know is that there are different families within the universe. The major family being the Belmont family. And off the top of my head, I know that there's Trevor Belmont, Simon Belmont,
Power Walker Extraordinaire,
and Richter Belmont. I think that's his name.
There are so many Castlevania games. Is this one that we've played this week, is that canon? Is that like a proper full-fledged Castlevania game?
Well, I had a little look online to kind of see where it fell, and there's quite a bit of debate online, and I can't seem to find any kind of definitive answer. There seems to be quite a bit of debate as whether this is a follow-on from 2 or an actual reboot, and kind of the first game rebooted.
You think the first game rebooted?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's quite a bit of debate over it. There doesn't seem to be any kind of concrete answer or anything like that. But because at the end of the second one, from what I can tell, obviously I'm the same as Tom. This is the first Castlevania game I've played, and the Castlevania 2 had 3 different endings, and the best ending, it just shows the grave that the tombstone and the grave that Dracula is buried in, and then there's the second end. The other ending below that is you see the tombstone and Dracula's hand comes out of the grave. So there's a bit of debate as to whether this is a continuation from that, because Dracula resurfaced earlier than he should do, because it's supposed to be every 100 years, or whether this is just a reboot of the first one.
Yeah, I like whenever there's the intros to these games, like you normally skip them, don't you, Eric? All the stories.
No.
Long time ago, some shit happened and I don't care.
Next.
But I did that as well, but I did read the first portion. I just read the whole every 100 years the forces of good mysteriously start to weaken, and then the power of Dracula starts to revive itself, and he gets stronger and stronger every 100 years. And that's all I took away from it, and I just kind of jumped in.
Well, I'm trying to find out the order in which these games are canon, and I find Super Castlevania IV in the same vein as the first Castlevania, and then Castlevania Chronicles all take place in 1691. So I think that lends a little credence to the whole reboot of the first game.
Okay.
And then Symphony of the Night. Well, Simon's Quest actually comes after this, like 7 years later. Then there's Symphony of the Night 100 years after that. And then Bloodlines is in 1917.
Oh, okay.
And then the Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow are in like the early 2000s.
So even though you're self-confessed not extremely well versed in the Castlevania universe, which ones have you played?
I have played the original. Now I've played Super Castlevania. I've played Simon's Quest, Symphony of the Night, Bloodlines, and that's it.
Okay.
I've seen some Let's Players play Simon's Quest, and man, that game does not look easy.
It's not, but man, is it fun.
Really?
I like the style of Castlevania games. I think I have the NES cart for Simon's Quest.
We were going to play Simon's Quest at one point, but we just didn't get around to it. We should probably revisit that sometime.
One of the things I always remember from that Let's Play that I watched is there's a of Simon's Quest is, correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, there's a bit where you need something to happen. I can't remember what it is, but you have a clue that you're supposed to kneel down next to something, and you have to go all the way back to this just like wall and have to get your character to kneel next to it for a few moments, and then the thing that you need to happen happens.
That sounds like something they would do on an NES game.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, wow. How would you figure that out in the day? Because I remember the clue is really, really cryptic as well.
Huh. The main thing about this game is that it kind of deviates from where the series had gone in terms of branching paths. Like Simon's Quest was non-linear, meaning that it was open-ended, There's a world map. You can explore, revisit places, whereas this, it's just left to right progression.
Which surprised me, because having never played a Castlevania game before, obviously I'm aware of the older games, and obviously there's the term Metroidvania about, you know, going back and forth. You get new items to access new areas. That is what I was expecting when I started playing this, and then I started getting through the levels. I was like, oh, am I just going straight through?
Yeah, it was a little disappointing. I didn't know that this was going to be a straight linear one, but in reading people's response to this game, for a lot of people, this is one of their favorite games, their favorite Castlevania series.
I had a good time with this. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, something about it was... I was really enjoying it as well.
I would agree.
How far did you guys get?
I think there's a total of 11 stages, right?
Yes.
Each stage has 3 or 4 sub-stages within. I made it to 8-2. No. I made it to the beginning of 9. That's where I quit.
Oof, nice.
Where'd you go, Tom? 1-3?
Ha!
Eh.
I got to 7-1.
Ooh. And Mike,
Yeah.
I think you finished it, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I took major advantage of save states, but I did finish it.
I was playing it on the 3DS, and they actually incorporate save states on that, so that was nice.
Oh, nice.
I think if you're going to finish it in the timescale that we limit ourselves to, you need save states. There are parts of that game that are just so difficult, especially towards the end. I mean, it's not unfairly difficult, and the difficulty does gradually, you know, it raises nicely. It doesn't just suddenly hit a steep curve. But there are some bits that I did struggle with. I mean, there's a boss rush towards the end where you do 4 bosses in a row, including the last boss. The last of those 4 is Dracula himself, and I struggled with that. If it wasn't for save states, I would have been stuck on those for ages.
Did you guys find that health in this game overall was severely scarce?
Yes.
I think
You guys know about the chickens in the wall, though, don't you?
Well, I've accidentally hit the wall open a few times and found some chicken.
Well, I don't know if it's a Castlevania trope, but I knew that it's a Castlevania thing where you whip certain walls and you can find chickens. So every single time there was a brick wall near me, or you could go down to an area that just seemed like a dead end, I whipped every single wall that I could, and I was finding them left, right, and centre.
Huh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I hardly came across any. I think maybe 5 the entire time I played.
I didn't totally understand a lot of what I was collecting. I never really understood it. I was always collecting a shit ton of hearts, but never any actual healing items for while I was alive during the stage.
Well, it's weird because the hearts are actually... It's like ammo or like MP, I guess, for your extra weapons.
Yeah.
Right.
So each extra weapon you have, so there's the knife, there's the cross, there's the axe,
There's the holy water.
the holy water, and then there's that clock that stops everything on screen for a few
There's
minutes.
another one, it looks like a chain that when you pick it up, it kills all the enemies on screen.
Yes. But each one of those items, when you use them, depending which item you have, it uses a certain amount of hearts to use it. So that's what your hearts are actually for. And the annoying thing is, you collect all these hearts in level, and they go back down to, I think you start each level with 5. So you collect all these hearts on the level before, and then you get into the next one, you find yourself, you only got 5 left, and you can't really take advantage of your extra weapons. But I mean, to be fair, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does the money do?
Just for your score, I
Oh.
believe.
Oh, that's right. Back when games were big
Retro
on
games.
just score.
Yeah.
What's it do? Nothing.
For a little while, I didn't figure out what the you can get those things. They look like stone tablets with Roman numerals on.
Yes.
Did you guys get any of those?
I
I didn't have a clue what they were, and then I realised that basically, your items that you get So the extra weapons that you get. So say you have the knife, you can only throw one knife, and then you got to wait, and then you can throw another one.
Oh yeah.
Whereas with the Roman numerals, you can collect the 2, and then you can throw 2 at once, and then you get the 3, which you can throw 3 at once. But once you pick up a different weapon, it resets back down to 0.
Yeah, so you go around not opening candles.
Yeah, and I had a quick look online, and basically the stone tablets appear more often the more you use the weapon.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And then you
and then
can
there was
the triple shot on the throwing star is easily the best.
Oh yeah,
easy.
definitely. Yeah, I was able to take out bosses in like less than 30 seconds with those in the early stages.
Then you also get the whip upgrade as well. So
You
it's
can-
2 whip upgrades.
You can get 3 whip upgrades. No, 2. You're
that
right.
3?
What's the difference? I
Length
I
and
know
power.
you start with a rope and then you get the first upgrade. Makes sense, but I couldn't visually figure out what was different about
It got
the,
longer, didn't it? I'm sure it
Okay.
got longer.
Yeah, it got longer and it got stronger.
Okay.
Did anybody else find it absolutely hilarious that you could throw your whip out and then if you held the button, it would just go limp and you could twirl it around like it was
Yeah.
like a jump rope?
Did you guys know you could use it as like a shield?
Yes.
No, I was really strict on the last 4 bosses that you do. The second to last one is the Grim Reaper, and I couldn't beat him for love nor money. I was really struggling. So I had a quick look at a guide, just look at some advice, and they were like, well, if you whip and then hold up and keep the whip button down, he'll hold it up like a shield, and that saved me on doing the Grim Reaper. Like I got through him like the next
Well,
time I tried.
a lot of the enemy attacks you can actually hit with your weapon. Like if they shoot a fireball at you, you can attack it and it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Which saved me in a bunch of times. But you can attack in all 8 directions, which got a little wonky. I always forgot that I could attack diagonally upward as I'm walking upstairs.
Yes.
But
Very useful.
when you spin your whip around, it actually drops its power by 75%.
Didn't realize it was that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
It takes
so
a lot more hits.
if an enemy takes 1 hit to kill, with your normal whip, it would take 4 hits to kill, spinning it around.
It was good though if you were on a ledge like underneath an enemy and you could just take your time.
Yeah.
Having said that, there was a time counter on each stage, I believe.
Oh god, you know the Frankenstein boss?
Yes.
I'd save stated just as he appeared, and he kept killing me, and I couldn't figure out why. I kept just dying, and then I finally realised that one of the deaths, he didn't even touch me. I didn't realise that I'd actually just save stated it with only about 20 seconds left.
Oh no.
So I had to let him kill me properly, and then do a bit of level again.
I mean, to be fair, none of the bosses were really that difficult.
You didn't get to the end.
Yeah,
The one
first
Go ahead.
4 stages were definitely very straightforward. I felt like I'd done the first 4 or 5 stages in about an hour or so. Kind of just blitzed through those, but after that it started to get a little bit trickier.
The hardest one that I came across, or that I made it to, was the Ghost Dancer.
Oh,
That whole stage was so difficult.
is that with the 2 people kind of dancing and they
Yeah.
both got swords? Yeah.
Because I came
That
in
was
and it was my last life, and I had save stated going into it with less than half life. And most of the bosses don't take a whole lot of health off when you get hit, but this one, 3 hits and I was dead. So I had to perfect this boss battle and do it without getting hit. And they would disappear, and then they would reappear somewhere, and you'd have to jump over them and hit them while you're falling, and then run away really quick before they came down with their swords.
Yeah.
It was a really cool boss battle, but that level as a whole was just impossible.
It was horrible.
But it had
That was-
Jeeves in it.
That was I think that was the last level I did.
Jeeves cameo.
Jeeves, release the specters.
I found the mechanic where you kind of use your whip to catch onto rings quite janky at times.
I loved that.
It was really cool, but did you ever accidentally try and whip an enemy and instead grab a ring and then release the button too early and the momentum would pull you out of the level and just kill you? Did that ever happen to you, or is it just me?
I don't recall that, but I recall having issues trying to land on certain platforms because I'd be too far away.
Okay.
So the chain would be too long, and then I realized you can adjust the height of your chain while you're hanging on it.
Yeah.
So there'd be times where I'd swing on it, and the platform would be closer, and I'd swing over it to let go, and I'd fall beyond it and die.
Tom, in one of the later levels, there's these rings that are actually moving up and down, and you have to get onto those. And then you're hanging on the ring, being pulled up, and there's enemies like at the side. And obviously, if they hit you, your whip comes off the ring, so you fall.
Jesus.
And this game has that really annoying thing where, as you progress up the stage, if then you fall back down to where you were, instead of just falling to the platform below, if the platform below isn't visible, you die.
Yeah.
It becomes like a pit.
Oh, God.
But the interesting thing is, on the level I'm on about where the rings are moving, they're on like a... They kind of just go up and down in a circular motion, like on sort of like a conveyor belt kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Think about the moving platforms on Labyrinth Zone on Sonic the Hedgehog. The ones that go up and down. Rotate, yeah. They're like that. But if you fell down, you die. But if you stay hooked onto the ring and accidentally come round again, you don't die, and you just have to wait for Simon to come all the way back up. I was struggling at one point, and I was trying to get onto another ring, and I was like, oh, well, I'm still on it now, and I just happened to still be holding the whip button. I was like, oh, I'm not dead. And then, fair enough, here he comes, bold as brass, straight up.
Good old Simon.
Yeah.
Cheers, Si.
There were some really neat levels in here, like the one where you're walking through, it almost looked like this cylindrical room, where the room around you was spinning and the platforms behind you were falling, and you had to clip through it at a pretty quick pace.
I thought I was going to get motion sickness.
And then the next one, where you have to hook onto this ring, and then the room around you rotates, and you have to land on a platform surrounded by spikes.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah, I love that.
Well, for the longest time, I saw this opening on the left, so I jump onto the platform like, okay, I need to jump and clear this landing. And to be honest, the hit boxes on this for landing on terrain are pretty generous.
Yeah, they are.
And I kept thinking, okay, why do I keep dying? Like, I would just jump off this platform into the pit and die 5-6 times in a row, trying to avoid all of these Medusa skulls that were flying around. I'm like, maybe I should just attack all these and take my time to line this up. So I attack all of them, kill them, and then the room starts spinning and I fall off and die.
I did the exact same thing, kept trying to jump to that platform.
And then I realized, got to hook back onto the chain, let the room rotate around you, and then this ledge appears to your left.
Yeah,
I liked that level. There were some neat things.
One of the hardest parts later on, I think it's pretty much the last section you go through before you hit the last 4 bosses. You have to go up. You just keep going up and up and up through the level, and there's this like spinning circular blade at the bottom of the screen, and it's going back and forth and back and forth, and basically you just have to hot tail it up as fast as you can, because you have to outrun it, because if it hits you, it's instant death.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
And as you're going up, there's enemies, there's bits where you have to swing. There, as you get towards the top, there's these floating platforms that are just going up diagonally, and you have to jump onto those. But then there's areas where there's spikes, so you have to keep jumping across the floating platforms to be able to go up and avoid the spikes. It took me a few goes, that one.
I liked how they incorporated the background into a lot of these levels too, like the library. You'd be walking by these just inanimate looking pictures, and this lady in a purple dress would just reach out and grab you and hold you in place as other enemies start attacking you. The pictures that had the knights would start swinging swords at you. Just kind of a neat inclusion of...
Yeah. It's a bit like, I think on one of the earlier stages, there's like a hand that comes out from the ground.
Yes.
And keeps hold of you. And that kind of, you see the dirt mounding up as you moving across with you on the stage. So yeah, with like quite interactive backgrounds and foregrounds.
I mean, this is a good looking game overall.
It really is.
Definitely. 1991.
But perhaps the best aspect of it is the soundtrack.
Yeah, the music's cool. Did you say there was some soundtrack being released, like a vinyl or something?
There is. They are... Let me see if I can find the link that I posted to you guys before. Super Castlevania IV soundtrack on vinyl. It's a remastering of the soundtrack, original artwork in 2 separate colored pressings, bronze and gold edition, and a silver pressing with red splatters.
Nice.
I don't know when that's coming, though. That was released on June 19th.
You know the first track that you hear on the first stage, I think it's actually called Simon's Theme. I can't for the life of me remember how it goes now. But on the last boss, when you fight Dracula himself, he has 3 attack patterns. So as you hit him more and more, he changes to these different attack patterns and not different forms, but he just starts attacking differently. And when you get to the 3rd attack pattern, when he's sort of getting low on health, that music comes back in again, and it feels, for like just a 16-bit era boss battle, it feels so epic where that music starts coming back in again.
Nice.
It does add a lot to it. It's amazing what they were able to do with just 16-bit.
I was amazed that they got Ron Burgundy on Yaz flute.
Yaz flute. That's such an awful sound.
I can't remember which stage. I think it was the 3rd stage, wasn't it? That was it. There's random like Yaz flute solos going around everywhere.
Yeah, that's all it was. There was nothing else, just flute. If you listen closely to each of the soundtrack or each of the stages, it's like you can hear different parts of the orchestra within it just embedded into this MIDI file. They did such a good job constructing the music for this that it'd be awesome to hear it done fully orchestral.
Oh yeah. We had that question the other week, didn't we? That like, what soundtrack would you like to hear remastered or done fully orchestral? And I think if I'd played this before then, I would have answered with this.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great soundtrack. As a game, though, I mean, largely forgettable. It's just kind of it kind of came off as just a traditional platformer. I really, really enjoyed it, but there wasn't anything in particular that stuck out like this game was stellar, like it did with Symphony of the Night.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I played through quite a bit of it earlier in the week. Had a couple of days off, and then finished it this morning. And I was preparing, to come on the show, and I was like, I don't remember anything from earlier in the week.
Yeah, that'll start to happen as you play more games for the show. It just they all start to blend together. That's why what you need to do is take notes.
But I haven't played a platformer like this in a long time, so I really, really enjoyed this.
Well, this forces you to go back to a different mindset of gaming, because now we're so spoiled with automatic save points where it's like, oh, you die, you go back just a little ways. Here, if you haven't beaten the mid-level boss and you die, you're going back to the beginning.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I think I probably would have got frustrated if I wasn't using save states. But with the use of save states, yeah, this was a good time.
I tried to get through a good chunk of it. I think I made it through the first 4 stages without using them, but after that, you miss a jump and die, or like the Spectre stage where you have those floating white orbs flying around hitting you. I didn't realize you could kill those right away, so I'm trying to duck through those, and then there are spikes up above you that if you jump too high, you hit them and instantly die. There's too many instant kill locations.
Yeah. How did it normally save? Was it password?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Password system.
It's great. I mean, I'm glad I bought it and have it on my 3DS. I'm sure it'll be one of those that I'll just pop on and play for a while every now and again.
There's also, I didn't look at this. I presume it's if you go back into the level, because your health gauge can be restored obviously through the chicken and the chicken legs. But there's a magic crystal as well, apparently, which is received after defeating the boss at the end of each level, which explains what those circular things were. So if you go back into level and you have the magic crystal, you can... Oh no, I'm misreading this. No, it's just the magic crystal at the end. Restores your health. I thought it meant if you go back in the level. But yeah, password can also be entered into the game. Obviously using save states, I didn't do that.
Interesting. I'm looking up some fun facts about this. I wonder if this is actually...
We're having more facts.
Yeah.
I thought that was a one-time thing.
No, well, this is trivia.
Oh, okay.
On the password screen in the Japanese version, the stained glass decoration displays Jesus Christ and a cross. This was removed from the international version. If you jump on any treasure chest in stage 9 255 times in a row, a pot roast will come out.
What?
Right next to the stairs near the final boss fight with Dracula, there's an invisible staircase that leads to a lot of pot roasts, hearts, a cross and a boomerang, a double shot, and a triple shot.
Man, that would have been so fucking useful.
Yeah.
Because, right, I save stated before the last of the 4 bosses, and I can't remember why, but I didn't have any of the extra weapons. So I did the first 3 with just my whip. And then just before Dracula, it gives you a cross. But that's all I had, single shot cross. And I struggled through Dracula without full health as well, because the only health regeneration you find between the 4 bosses is just the chicken leg, which doesn't give you full health. So obviously I save stated for Dracula as well. But if I'd known about that, that would have made that last boss so much easier.
Oh, God. Fuck.
Now you know for next time.
Yeah. But that last boss, his first lot of attacks, he basically he goes invisible, then reappears, and he shoots a fireball at you. If you try and jump over the fireball, it splits into 3 and goes upwards, so it hits you. If you hit the fireball with your whip, it splits and just keeps coming towards you.
Can you double hit it, though? Like, if you hit it when it's far enough away, will you have time to swing again to hit the one that's coming at you?
Nope, not at all. Ooh. So what you have to do is I don't know how you do it without the cross, which is probably why they give you it beforehand. But he appears, you need to jump, throw the cross as he's appearing, whip the fireball, then use, I said about the whip shield?
Mm-hmm.
Then need to quickly get your whip shield up to protect you from the extra flames that come out. And that's just the first bit. And you have to do that over and over and over.
Interesting.
God.
They're a little bit fair. His second lot of attacks, he fires these orbs out, and if you hit the orbs, they then shoot all around the screen, but then they turn into a chicken leg, so that helps a little bit.
Oh, you get health during the battle?
Only in that second phase. So if you get to the third phase, no hope.
Ew.
Which I got to the third phase and save stated and didn't realise I only had like 2 hits left. So the last phase took me quite a while, because if he hit me twice, I was dead.
Down to the wire.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Another fact. Title screen, Japanese version has blood dripping to the ground, which is censored in the international release. I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah.
There was another game we played recently that had that same thing. I don't remember what that was.
They did it with the original Mortal Kombat, didn't they?
Yeah, took the blood out.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese version, at the graveyard scene in the opening, there are crosses in the background, including one on top of Dracula's tombstone. However, the name on the tombstone is Dracula. But in the international version, they removed and replaced the crosses along with the Dracula name. I wonder if that's a bit of English going on there.
English.
Oh, Dracula. That's all I found for trivia, folks.
Just trying to find these pictures.
Super Castlevania IV Facts for Kids on Kids Search Encyclopedia for Kids. Seems like a terrible thing to have on a kid's website. Yeah, that's all I got. Any final thoughts on Castlevania?
Oh, I've just found the Dracula.
Dracula.
Yeah, I loved it. It wasn't what I was expecting at all, like I said. Because I was expecting, to go back and forth. Wasn't expecting something so linear. But yeah, I had a good time with this. Real good time. I'm glad.
Well, especially when you hear Castlevania, you think of Castlevania or Metroidvania style games where it's like, all right, huge branching paths and go this, that, and the other way. And it's like, no, you get to go forward.
Up and across. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I've not, like I said, I've not played a Castlevania game before. I'm glad this was my first one, because I'm sure there are ones that maybe are a bit more ropey, maybe.
It's it's a shame we've already done Symphony of the Night, but we did a pretty deep dive on that, so I don't know if we can go back to that.
I'm sure I'll pick it up sometime.
Do you have any final thoughts, Eric? I feel like you always ask us, but we never ask you.
Oh, well, thanks, Mike. I liked it. How's that for a final thought? No, it was great. It's not. It definitely won't go down as one of my favorite Castlevanias, but then again, I don't have a lot of Castlevania nostalgia to pull from. Having played Simon's Quest, this was definitely a step backwards. I think they made up for it definitely in the soundtrack and the uniqueness of each of the levels.
Yeah. I think Dan would say it was not shite.
Would he? I think Dan would be it's possibly shite.
Oh, really? This is his game. I thought he... That's disappointing.
Yeah,
if you're listening, Dan, that's disappointing.
Dan, we graded this game for you.
Putting words into his mouth.
Yeah. Should we take some questions?
Yes.
I think we should.
We do have an email if you want to send us an email, factorysealed@manatank.com. This one comes from Maddie Hallmark, subject Super Castlevania IV. I mean, it's written that way. Hey, guys. Castlevania 4 and Yoshi's Island are the first two games I've actually played along with you. I didn't get past World 2 on Yoshi's Island, but I did beat Castlevania. Boy, that's nice. Odd. I guess I could see why Yoshi's Island would be a bit of a drag. Had to use save states, or I feel it would have taken way too long, and some of the bosses were super hard near the end. I have two questions for you. Did you beat it without save states?
Nope.
No, I didn't even beat it.
No.
What was your favorite weapon? I love the cross with the 3x multiplier. Once I got that, I almost didn't want to break any more candles, so I would accidentally lose it.
I completely agree.
The cross.
It is the tits.
Yeah, the cross. And the little knives were alright as well.
I mean, I'm kind of always pretty partial to the holy water.
Oh, I hated that. I ended up stuck with that for the mummy boss.
I just like it because it's just... He's got... I imagine him walking around with this backpack of glass vials that he had taken to the local cathedral, and he's like, Father, can you bless all of these, please? And the father's sitting there for like 6 hours just blessing all of this holy water and putting these corks in them, and Simon's walking around just pitching glass at people. It's more of an imagination thing.
Jeeves, go to the font. I need more holy water.
You get to burn with water, and you get to burn with water. The power of Christ compels you. Because it's like, whenever I go to a Catholic service and the priest walks down the aisle and he's flinging water at people, I'm like, yeah, it's Simon. Anybody who's Catholic, I've probably just ruined church for you. Anyway, Mike, you were saying something. I'm sorry.
It's just the way he throws it out. It's not useful.
No, it has this obnoxious arc.
Yep. I hate getting it.
It's just like he kind of goes, and just drops it on the floor.
Just a little underarm, little flick.
Well, it's not as good of an arc as the axe that you get to throw out. I mean, that one goes up real high.
Its moments.
Yeah.
Spinning axe.
I'm going to stick with the holy water.
Definitely not the time thing.
Did that even do anything?
Yeah.
Slowed down time briefly.
Besides freeze enemies in a really inopportune moment so you can't make your jump?
Mm-hmm. It used quite a few hearts as well, I think, each time.
Ugh. Mike, you posted on our Facebook page.
I did.
All right, you lovelies.
All right, my slags.
Well, I thought it'd be nice this week.
Just this week. Yeah, you don't want to offend everybody.
I wanted to come across friendlier than Dan.
Yeah.
Because he normally posts this.
All right, you numpties. Fuck you want this week?
You dare ask a fucking question?
Do you know who we are? We're factory sealed, you fucking slag.
Right. Shall we start from the top? My beloved says...
You're betrothed.
Naps or lay-in?
Now, let's clarify for once. The hell is a lay-in.
Where you just stay in bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, you
That's
sleep
called
for longer.
sleeping in.
Yeah, potato.
Yeah.
I say neither. I'm not a sleeping type.
I used to be a sleeping kind of guy, but since doing my job that I do now, I get up ridiculously early and I can't sleep in anymore.
I forgot to tell you guys, in this past week, from Sunday night through Thursday morning, I amassed a total of 12 hours of sleep.
Nice.
I got home. So we were at a work function all week. We have a company-wide function once a year where everybody from the country flies in, and it's kind of our national meeting that just turns into a party. But you're up every day at 6 a.m., technically working, meetings and functions and the like until about 10. And then everybody finally gets to hang out and just relax until like 2, 3 in the morning. And then you have to be up at 6 a.m. the next day anyway. Meanwhile, you're drinking copious amounts of alcohol. So you wake up just feeling like hot death. And you get
doing some swarming.
Oh, man. I went swimming in my leopard leotard. Let me tell you what, that was a good time. So we had our lip sync battle, and it was awesome.
Did you win?
We didn't, because the people from the corporate office did NSYNC Bye Bye Bye, and they actually choreographed it. So they clearly won. Everybody, all the other groups were comprised of people from around the country, and they didn't have time to practice. I mean, we didn't get in early enough to do any sort of meaningful practice, so we just went for shock and awe value. And I had this woman's foreplay sex leotard with leopard print on it that walk out on stage, and while I'm waiting for the music to start, I just make eye contact with one of my buddies and just slowly zip it down all the way to just above my crotch, and then the music kicks in, and it's me up there and one of my other buddies dressed in full ginger spice drag. It was so gross.
Oh man.
So that later that night we were sitting down by the we were sitting down outside having some cigars and chatting, and one of my buddies like, "You should go put that leopard leotard back on," fully expecting me to go, "Nah." I'm like, "All right, hold my beer, I'll be back in a minute." And came out and just hung out in that thing and decided to go for a swim in it. It wasn't pretty, tell you what.
Wow. That's special.
To answer the question from your beloved neither, whenever I take a nap, I always wake up feeling like garbage.
I would say, definitely a lay-in. I can't nap for shit, and if I ever did try to, I would wake up feeling like death.
If I do take a nap, I have to set an alarm to wake me up within 20 minutes. Because once I crest 20 minutes, may as well just stay asleep for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Like, I'll wake up feeling hungover and groggy and gross.
I hate that I can't nap, because apparently napping's really good for you.
Yeah, short naps, though, like 20 minutes and under.
Yeah, I don't want to turn this into the napping podcast, but I think there's some research done into that. Like, any more than 20 minutes, you go into too deep a sleep, and it becomes counterproductive.
Yeah.
Well, plus, I have so much shit I want to do in the day. I don't want to sleep.
Sleeping's for nighttime.
Yes. I mean,
I'll
every night.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
I go to bed probably midnight every night, and I'm up at 6 a.m. every day. It's just kind of been my routine since middle school.
Solid 6 hours is fine.
Okay.
I go to work on like 3 and 4 hours sleep sometimes, just because of how early I get up, I can't sleep.
Oh, I know where I was going with that whole 12 hours of sleep story. So Thursday we were done half day, and I got home at 2:00. I almost fell asleep walking up the stairs. Like, you get to the end of this week-long thing, and once that last half of the day is done, something mentally happens where your body goes, "Hey, I know this is over. Start shutting down." Like, you can physically feel just the energy draining from your body. And I got home, made it upstairs, fell asleep for like 6 hours. Woke up, felt like shit. Ugh. I can't nap.
No.
And then if I sleep past 7 a.m., it's like, I've wasted my day.
Yeah, I'm trying to lay in less and less. Like, I might lie until about 9 in the morning now, whereas I used to be until about 10 or 11.
Every day I lay in less and less.
Fortunately, we have really...
kids. You have kids.
Yeah, but they're really easy going. Like, my littlest one will sleep till 8, and then Ellie will just wake up and hang out and play in her room until we wake up, so it's not super demanding.
Oh, okay.
Whereas other kids, it's like the second their eyes open, they're screaming and pounding on shit for the next 13 hours.
God.
We sometimes have the cat meowing in our face.
Ugh. Yeah.
So it's not quite a question, but Josh Moss has said, I haven't played all of the series, but this one has to be one of the best soundtracks of any Castlevania. From level 1, it's just amazing. I agree.
Yeah. But I think it still comes in second to Symphony of the Night.
Gosh,
just everything about that game is perfection.
Oh, I'm agreeing that soundtrack is good, not against other Castlevanias, because obviously I haven't played any of this. So
yeah,
but
yeah. Next,
Brendan Conley says, do you guys think there is any way for the Castlevania series to become relevant again? Seems people have just given up on it. Then Dan C. Gilbert underneath says, side note, highly recommend the Castlevania animated series on Netflix.
Actually, the only thing I know of is the did you guys hear about the spiritual successor, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night?
I remember hearing about it.
That appeared on Kickstarter and raised over $5 million. And it's from the original producer of the Castlevania series. And it's out on, like, you can't play it, but like it's been at conventions where people have played demos. And I've seen some video footage of it on YouTube. It looks really, really good, but it's just
What's
not
that
quite
called,
out
Tom?
yet.
Sorry?
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Yeah, Bloodstained.
You know what also looked really, really good when it was on Kickstarter? Mighty Number 9.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, definitely. But
you know what else also looked really good when it was in development? No Man's Sky.
all right. I get it. Yeah.
No, Tom, I'm excited for this one. I am, but
No, I know. I'm saying definitely taper expectations.
I like the art style of it too, because it almost looks like. Did you ever play that 2D fighter Skullgirls?
What's it called?
Skullgirls. It's
I've
basically.
seen it, I've never played it.
Oh man,
No.
Dan and I did a video of it. It's basically softcore porn in 2D fighting form.
Oh god.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Dead or Alive.
it's more gratuitous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at this Bloodstained, I've just sent you guys an image of Bloodstained.
Yeah.
And that top image on there, like the creature that they're fighting, looks like it's been ripped straight out of the original Power Rangers TV series.
Oh yeah.
When is this? This was supposed to have been out in March.
It was supposed to have been out. I think it was end of last year, then the beginning of this year. Like I said, people have already been playing this in like press conferences and conventions, and it's been given great feedback and everything. But it's not actually been released yet. I think it's coming to the Switch at some point.
It's odd that they haven't updated their Kickstarter page to this is done, isn't it? No, that's still being pledged.
You can still pledge, but they definitely smashed their all their stretch goals.
10 times their goal they hit.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
crazy.
It's even coming out on Vita as well.
Well, it's a little
At some
concerning
point.
though that they haven't updated this to include like actual gameplay footage. The pictures still just say concept art.
Yeah, it is weird to not keep the source updated, because this is where you'd go to get your news, because it is a Kickstarter game.
Well, when you type in Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, it's right there at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it looks good. I would play that. It has a little bit of that Salt and Sanctuary feel to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, if you have not played, is the tip of both nipples.
I have it, but I just haven't started it yet.
Oh man, it's good.
Yeah, there's some E3 gameplay of Ritual of the Night, which looks absolutely awesome, actually.
Next question comes from Vicmees. Volteri Karowa. I just call him Vicmees. He wants to know, all of your body hair turns to one of these colors, bright and unnatural, red, blue, or green. Which color do you choose and why?
Green.
I was leaning towards green. I was leaning towards green, but then it might look like mold.
Well, it's bright and unnatural. Mold's kind of a darkish green.
I think
I'd go with
blue.
blue.
I would have to go blue. I mean, green's my favorite color, but
blue's my favorite, and I would go with that and style it out like some kind of try and look like some kind of sci-fi.
Well, green's my favorite color. I feel like if it was bright and unnatural, it'd be easier to hide, and also you could cosplay as Blanca from Street Fighter easily.
Yeah, that's true. So I might have to switch to green. Definitely not red, though.
I'll stick with blue because we can't all look the same.
Well, fine, then I have to go with red. Can I have a mix of the three? In like a rainbow pattern?
One leg is red, one leg's blue.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes.
Dan C. Gilbert, what Castlevania game would you like to see an HD remake reimagining of?
I haven't played enough to say.
Surely Symphony of the Night, I guess,
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah, absolutely. Or Simon's Quest.
Okay.
Yeah. I think everybody would agree that it would probably need to be Symphony of the Night. Because it's the most iconic of the franchise.
It is. It's the one everyone thinks of when they think of that series, at least to my knowledge.
No. Next question, Mike?
Next question is from Santos Lopez. Who's the best gamer among you? And then some guy called Dan Curtis.
Never heard of him.
Danielle. It's a girl, Danielle.
Oh, okay. Danielle Curtis has said, me, none of these lot have finished Ni no Kuni.
I think he's wrong.
Is that the qualifier to be the best gamer, finishing this JRPG from PS3 times?
According to Danielle, it is.
Yeah, it's a very strange set of criteria that you have to meet.
Yeah, that is really odd.
So what happened if two of us would have finished it? Well, then she would say, well, I finished it first.
Yeah, she would.
I think
Danielle.
Back in the day, it used to be easier to qualify who's the better gamer because you could just look at scores in a game. But
That's true,
it's such a subjective question.
Also, none of us are huge online players either.
Yeah, the only reason I keep my PS Plus subscription is for the free games.
Yeah,
true.
And even still, I don't recall
And a bit of Rocket League every now and again.
Yeah, I don't recall the last time I actually played any of the PS Plus games.
But they're there. They're, for you to have whenever you want.
And I have it mainly for the discounts.
Yeah, the discounts, you actually make your money back pretty quickly after a few purchases, don't you?
Yeah.
This isn't quite answering the question, but I'd say it's probably not me.
No.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not me.
With the Insane trilogy recently, some of the stuff that Dan managed to crack out quickly with the original Crash Bandicoot, I'm like, well, if I could do some of that you've done, I wouldn't have done it as quick as him. So I would say at the very least, Dan is better than me.
Dan also has a lot more free time.
Yeah.
Than I do.
Yeah, it's definitely not me. I'm not good at games. I just really enjoy playing them.
Yeah. I just want to have fun.
I just want to enjoy myself. I just want to take part.
Yeah, don't make me feel bad because I'm shit.
Although there are certain games that I am very, I haven't met anybody that has beaten me at. Say, Tekken, for example.
Tom, I'm going to challenge you to a Tekken off.
Tekken, Street Fighter, Counter-Strike, those three I'm pretty confident I could beat most people that I know comfortably.
Should I bring my Switch when I come and we can have Mario Kart off?
Yes, because I only have 3 controllers.
I'll bring my Switch. Maybe I'll buy a couple more Pro controllers before I come over.
Oh, can't you, obviously with 2 screens, have 2 players on each screen and play 4-player?
Yeah, but then you're using the Joy-Cons and that shit
Fine,
sucks.
fine. Me and Dan will just watch.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying I'll buy a couple more Pro controllers. So we have 4 Pro controllers.
We'll sit down and be quiet.
Yeah, you guys can sit in the corner.
You can have the one with the turbo button on it.
Yeah. In the 3-foot cord.
The third-party controller.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Last question from Chad Wesley Schaefer. Wants to know, how do you guys feel about reproduction carts? Should they be made or sold, and where do you think they fit in a collection of games?
I'm going to sound really dumb. What does he mean by reproduction carts?
It's not the original.
So it's a re-release, basically.
Yeah, an unofficial reproduction.
Ah, okay.
Is it when they... Yeah, no, I think I've seen some of these. Is it where the game wasn't originally on that cartridge and it's been put on there and then a label's been printed for it?
I don't...
It kind of looks... Well, not really.
I think it's just generally... it's just remade. They made the cartridge and they've flashed a circuit board and put it on there so it'll play on that console.
Oh, I see.
I mean,
okay.
totally not legal, even in the least bit. And
yeah, no, I don't think they should be made.
yeah, they have absolutely zero place on any of my shelves.
I mean, the second part of that question, where do you think they fit in a collection of games? I suppose it depends on your collection. If you want that as part of your collection, go ahead. But it's not really fair for anyone to judge whether you should have something in your collection or not, I guess.
But I mean, if you're collecting, if you're like, at the basis, you're collecting the games. Mm-hmm. It's the point is to get the actual game itself, not a recreation of it. If you're going to go out and buy a car, do you want to get that car, or do you want to get a car that's not that car but looks like that car?
Yeah,
I see your logic.
Because when I was originally hunting for the Lufia game on Game Boy Advance, Ruins of Lore, I was ecstatic when I found it. Bought it, got out to the car, and was looking at the cartridge, and on the back, Nintendo was spelled NL. Like a capital L to make it look like Nintendo. And then I started inspecting the sticker, and you could tell it wasn't quite right. The coloring was off, and I took it back in. I'm like, guys, this is fake. I want no part of it. And then the same thing happened when I found the Lufia on Game Boy Color. I found it in box. I'm like, this is impossible. There's no way I found this in box. So I took it up to the counter, had them take it out, and I looked at the box, and it was just like somebody had printed it on really, really thick cardstock.
Okay.
And folded it up to look like the box. I mean, it was a really good replication of it, but you take the cartridge out, and I believe the cartridge was supposed to be clear. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't.
I'm not a fan of customers getting duped into thinking they're getting something that they're not. I think...
Oh, no, totally.
Reproduction cartridges are fine, but maybe it should just be really clearly stated that this is definitely not the original. But buy this and it will look cool on your shelf, and you'll have it, and you'll have the game. It will be exactly as it should be, but it is not from way back when.
I mean, there's that as well, isn't there? I mean, if it's in your collection for you to play, because I mean, some people collect for the sake of collecting, some people collect because they want to play them as well. And like you said, if you've got it in your collection, you want to play it. If, say, for example, it's a reproduction cart, say it's a SNES game, and it's on the reproduction cart for the SNES, you want to play it like it was on the SNES, instead of emulating it on a PC or something like that, then you still have that option.
Yeah, totally. You just don't want it to muddy the original copies out there in terms of collectors who are prepared to spend very high prices for these things, and they don't want to worry that they could be getting something that is essentially fake or whatever.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Which is why I've sort of tailed off buying used games on Amazon or eBay, because you don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. And good luck trying to get a refund on that.
Much like a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
I actually didn't realise that was a thing. I didn't realise people were doing that, like reproducing cartridges in that way and trying to sell them off as originals.
Yeah. What do you guys think about creating different box artwork? There's some really cool.
I like
bits
it.
Yeah, I've seen people that on Etsy will create artwork for games, like modern games that look like vintage books.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's really neat.
It's not harming anybody.
No. And it makes let's face it, having 200 games on a shelf in your living room doesn't really look very appealing.
Yeah. No.
So if you reshape it and put them on bookshelves, the average person that walks in really is like, oh, I just have a lot of books.
Yeah. No, it's I think I've seen it. Some illustrator, he'd redone the box art for a whole bunch of PS4 games in the style of like NES games, that kind of block capitals with a diagonal text.
Oh man, that'd be cool.
And sort of flat colored visuals in the background, and pixelated. I thought that was really cool.
I just posted the picture of the ones that look like old books.
Oh,
hey,
that's
cool.
that's awesome. I really like that.
I'll give him a shout out. It's by James Bitt Books.
James Bitt Books. Yeah, that's.
I like that.
I think that's cool. Well, hold on, wait a minute. Is that the top? Because some of them say something different for each one. No, that's definitely not it. Because you look at the other one, it's like international. What is that? Who makes these? I want to give them a shout out for because it's really cool.
Is this on Etsy?
Ogizmo.
What, the Mogwai?
I don't know what that means.
Gremlins? Doesn't matter.
Wait, hold on. Here we go. I found it. VO. I mean, either way, they're super cool. Via Technobob. Penguin. Yeah, James Bitt.
You're just saying words now.
Yeah, I am. Penguin Key. Yeah, so I was right. James Bitt.
Okay.
They're $1.50 each.
Oh, nice. Do you get the case as well?
No.
just
For that price, you'll only get a PDF that you need to print out yourself. But
okay,
yeah,
that's fair enough.
That's crazy. Looking good. That's going to do it for questions this week.
Tis.
We are now back on our bi-weekly schedule after 3 straight weeks in a row.
Whew.
Well done, guys. We did it. Well done.
Made it.
I do not know how you guys did this week on, like, every single week for the times that you did, honestly.
We did it for almost a straight year.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm having a blast doing it, but it's nice to know there's 2 weeks for the next game.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think we've settled on our next game, have we not?
If you guys are happy to do it.
I'm happy to do it because it means I can play it on my Vita.
Oh, yeah, that Vita love.
Yeah, get some of that Vita. We're going to be doing... I know we've started this. I couldn't find a show where we actually had dedicated any significant amount of time. But we're going to be playing through Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis.
Dino. I know there's some people that have told us that we need to play this before, so we're finally going to do it. And I think we've had enough time since our Resident Evil 2 and 3 shows to kind of let that style of gameplay taper off. Mm-hmm. So that'll be next. However, we also have recently gotten quite a few Patreon donations, which I was talking to you guys about this before the show, but I feel like it needs to just be reiterated again, is that, holy cow, you guys are super generous. Just looking at what we've received in the past year, you guys have donated over $1,000 to us in the past year, which has gone just directly back into keeping this show afloat.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate it.
We would do this if we got nothing, but by you doing this and helping support us allows us to kick more back out into the community. So thank you. It's definitely eye-opening to see that we actually have an impact on people.
Scary.
Sorry.
Good Lord.
We put out a post a couple weeks ago about leaving us some more reviews, and they're quite humbling. Just the effect that we have on people and how people look forward to the show each week and what parts of their life it helps get them through. And And when we started this show, that's ultimately what we wanted to do, is just create a place for people to just talk shit about games. I mean, the whole concept behind the show is like you're back in middle school with your buddies just talking shit about video games.
I think the show nails that pretty well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And I think a lot of people have connected with that. And we want to start kicking stuff back out into the community. But we've also had 2 people donate enough to get their own custom stocking, which if you're unaware of what those are, I throw open the doors to the sweatshop and I design and create custom Christmas stockings in a visage of whatever character you want, provided I think I can actually do it, and then mail it off your way. On our Patreon page, I've got a few examples of ones that I've made, like the Mega Man's, the E-Tank, the Fallout Boy, and then Tom's Metal Gear Solid stocking.
Yeah.
But what's that?
And
Pikachu, and then I have a Sonic one and a Cloud one for Dan. But I want to make sure I get the right names. Monty Glover donated enough to get one of those, and he's chosen for me to do bass from Mega Man.
Old Montgomery Gloverton.
Montague.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, oh, hey, Monty. Didn't know you were here.
Oh, yeah.
And I started the other one last night for Jeremy Lucas. I posted a picture of it. Mike, you said that through some creative detective work, you and Hazel were able to figure out what it was. Tom, have you seen it yet?
No.
Take a peek at the old Facebook page at facebook.com/groups/Factory Seal Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see it? It's the one that...
Oh, the... no, I don't see it.
Scroll down a little.
Okay. Oh, I see it now. Oh, I did see this. It could even be a boat. Nice.
Any ideas, Tom?
Nice. And I actually was looking at this earlier. I was trying to zoom in on the colours because you've written them down, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I still couldn't get it. I'm gonna kick myself, aren't I?
I mean, this one's pretty creative. I was super excited when he kicked this one over to me.
Yeah, the shape of it. My mind just keeps. I keep thinking it's a pair of balls.
Will it? I mean, that left one's a bit lower.
Exactly.
Would it help if I told you that it was 2 people?
Yeah, but is it what era is it? How retro is it?
Game Boy. Mike, what detective work did you do?
Is it Team Rocket?
I zoomed in and looked at the names actually written on some of the stickers.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I mean, that's not detective work.
Well, we didn't realise at first, and we were trying to figure it out. But
yeah, you can tell which 2 pieces I did first, and I'm like, whatever. Let's ballpark this.
Well, we think it's Link and Marin.
It is Link and Marin from Link's Awakening.
Oh, damn it! I'm gonna kick myself.
Which also coincides with another Patreon donation we've received from Dan C. Gilbert.
Oh, lovely segue.
Shit, I tried to sneak it by. He has donated enough to join us on the show and play a game, and he has suggested that we once again play through Link's Awakening because it's been 127 episodes since we played through it.
Wow.
And that was with a different crew 5 years ago.
Yeah. Ooh,
I think the time is nigh. And I've been getting just a severe itch to replay it because there's some people on our group page that are playing through it right now, and every time I crack open that 3DS, I'm like, I really want to do this.
Okay. Be good
So-
to go back and play a Game Boy game. Actually, I haven't.
Have you ever played that one, Mike?
Sorry.
Have you played that one?
Confession: I have never ever played a 2D Zelda. I've only ever played the 3D ones.
That's the best. It's the best Zelda. Link's Awakening,
Oh man.
I would say.
But no, I've only ever played the 3D ones. So apart from Majora's Mask, I haven't played Majora's Mask, as I said earlier. But yeah, I've never played a top-down or 2D Zelda.
Well, then it's a good thing you're going to play the best one first.
Sweet.
It'll all be downhill after that for 2Ds. And yes, for
Well,
anyone...
I'm hoping because A Link to the Past is on the SNES Classic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, when I get that thing, I've got other things to play, but I'm definitely going to play through Final Fantasy VI, Mario RPG, and Link to the Past.
Well, we had somebody, too, that was wanting us to replay through Final Fantasy VI because Kevin and I played through it a few years ago, and our analysis of it was all in one show, and we were quite drunk for it.
What?
Oh, yeah. Kev came to visit me before we went to E3, and we'd finished up Final Fantasy VI just before he got here. And when he showed up, we just decided to get liquored up and do a live show of Final Fantasy VI.
I purposely haven't listened to that one because I don't want Final Fantasy VI spoiling for me. So.
We do spoil it. It's just not, like, we could definitely go way more in depth on it. So maybe towards the tail end of this year, we might dive back into that, but I feel like we need to let Final Fantasy cool down a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But yes, Link's Awakening will be in the coming weeks. Prep thine titties, Mike. It's a doozy.
Awesome.
It will ruin all other Zelda games for you because, as Tom said, it is the best.
Okay. Like I said, I'm looking forward to playing a Game Boy game again, actually. I just haven't played one in ages.
I think we'll all have to play the DX version, though, so we can make sure we go through the color dungeon and get either the red tunic or the blue tunic.
The DX version?
Yeah. They did a Game Boy Color version of it and added another dungeon.
Oh,
with,
sweet.
At the end of that dungeon, you could choose a different colored tunic, and one would increase your damage and one would increase your defense.
Cool. A portable game's good for me as well, because I can play it on my break at work and stuff, so...
Yeah, and that you should be able to handle that on your PSP.
I've got a Game Boy emulator on my DS, which I prefer playing on.
Ooh.
Ooh. I mean, I've got a totally legit cartridge I'm going to put in a Game Boy. What?
Yeah. Duh. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week. I'd like to say we'll see you next week, but we're not going to see you guys for 2 more weeks. In the meantime, check us out on Facebook.com, Facebook.com/group/Factory Seal Podcast. Take part in the chatter.
It's a joyful old time.
It is.
Oh, it is. It is a good time.
If you do feel so inclined to make some sort of donation, you can find us at patreon.com/factorysealed. And next month, believe it or not, based on our goals that we hit, we have to do video podcasts.
Is the internet ready for that?
So here's the thing. With these $50 donations, those are typically a one-time thing, simply because we don't expect people to continually donate $50 month after month. But because...
I mean, you could if you wanted.
Yeah, but because there will be a month where they have donated that and our monthly income exceeded the $150 a month goal, we have to do a video podcast for 2 shows.
For 2 shows?
Well, yeah, for that month. We do 2 shows in a month.
Yeah.
So I got to put clothes on.
Oh, God, I got to put a top on.
Ooh. I got to take my makeup off.
Me.
So that's where you can find us.
I'm gonna have to make sure my hair looks just right.
Just right. So we'll look at the schedule, see when we can get Dan C. Gilbert on. It'll probably be next month. That's going to do it for this week, guys. We'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.